who produced a 32-dart leg yesterday in that win over Ryan Meikle, but it didn't matter because he backed it up with a 16-darter.
137.
And he dug deep. It was a 70-something average, but in the end it was enough. But I suspect he will have to improve on that today.
Yeah, and I suspect last night when he got back to his accommodation, he wasn't bothered about the average or the 32-dart leg. He's bothered about the fact that now he's got a chance at Ryan Searle. And Callan Rydz has got a dart of tops here to break the thrower. Gian Van Veen, he's got time on his side. Van Veen not coming out the traps and not continuing that form line we've seen from him recently.
100. You require 40.
Well, let's just see if Rydz can take out tops at this time of asking. Yes, he can. So a 16-dart break of throw.
Game.
Here we get to have a look at the angle of entry here of Gian Van Veen, and you can see just laying down in the bed, just kicking out to the side. It can be a little bit tricky when you've got to move around the board, but it's nice when he gets one on that bottom wire and you can just build on top. And a lot of that will come down to that grip from Van Veen. You see there the grip very, very close to the front of the dart, down towards the point. So in front of the balance point, which just changes the flight of the dart through the air.
57. Yes. 170.
Got to say, it's a really good camera angle that highlighted what you were saying there as well. 170 is not going to happen here, but
58.
I mean, has that always been the way with Gian in terms of his development and how he's been plying his trade from an early age?
No, I think this is something that is developed and had to change throughout time, certainly in the last couple of years. Always missed the opportunity, a chance here for Callan Rydz to get the first holder throw in this game and get a little bit of control, get a bit of a cushion here over his seeded opponent.
Yeah, Callan Rydz now for the first holder throw in this match, so tops again, no mistake this time.
A couple of years ago, he went to Q School, did very poorly, went to the Challenge Tour, did very poorly. And that was down to struggling a little bit with dartitis at the time, and the throw evolved and changed. And in that same year, that's when he all of a sudden burst into life and started getting these big results. And that all happened within a couple of months. So just goes to show that how much things can change in such a small time within this sport.
Yeah, you're right.
161.
Well, it's 6-1 here for Van Veen. Let's just see if he can take this out before we go any further.
137.
Yeah, I mean, it has been an incredible 2 years for him. Almost 2 years ago, really, when he first really burst onto the scene. He played in a Pro Tour event at the end of 2022 without a tour card, but reached the final of that one. He was there to just make up the numbers, filling up the field, and got beat by Gezi Price, but that's where it all began, and he's busted his score there for an opportunity. And my goodness me, Callan Rydz has been gifted a real opportunity here. 10 for tops again. No surprise he's going this way, because double 20 has in the main served him well. Back to double 10 though. And Rydz.
Well, we saw this quite a bit last night, didn't we? Players going behind and then starting to find their best when it looked like the game was about to get wrapped up. Certainly that Peter Wright game yesterday, 5-0 down and brought it back to 5-4. Had 3 darts to make it level.
56.
Well, Van Veen already in the comfort zone as far as this leg is concerned. A 180, a 140. What's he got here?
165.
What a leg this is.
56. Gian requires 16.
10 darter for Van Veen incoming.
Games on the 8th leg. Gian Van Veen.
This is a really good leg, and Rydz once again has come up with the necessary responses. Van Veen just has to keep pressing hard here.
57. Callan require 94.
Well, it's got him down to a finish, but I think Rydz will welcome that. 94 points away.
Yep.
So 69 points away now.
69, yep.
There's the 9.
54.
No match start yet.
164.
Just wonder whether that loose dart on the treble 3 will come back to haunt him. He's got away with it for now.
So I think when you're trying to turn around a 5-1 deficit, you can't make one mistake. Van Veen ran out of wiggle room, Callan Rydz can get the job done.
3 match starts, nudges the wire with the first, further away with the second, and not close enough with the third either.
Gianni require
3 match starts for Callan Rydz have slipped through his fingers. Van Veen 54 for 32, stays on the 20s to leave another crack at double 13. Had a look at it earlier.
93.
Can't find it this time.
Callan, you require 40.
Gets it this time. Callan Rydz withstands the fight back from Jan Van Veen. That misstart at double 13 could have made things very, very tricky indeed.
Score well, finish brilliantly, done. That's the game.
Have you ever thought about getting into coaching?
120.
Well, I'm available for an exorbitant fee. Winner of this to face either Damon Hector or Madars Razma, so it will be a national #1, but will it be Australia or Latvia? That game's on the way this afternoon.
I think the problem here for Roger Hertig, though, is
76.
Ryan Searle loses a dart. He's behind the darts anyway. Roger Hertig's got the throw, but he feels a throw behind.
Well, he kind of is, isn't he? Because if we show you the first 9 averages, Roger Hertig is in the sort of 60s, and Ryan Searle is up past 110. So after 3 visits to the board every leg, Ryan Searle is about 120 points in front. And he's missed the ball for a 3-0 lead, but he may get more chances.
He may not. Double 16.
128.
Just about got in our camera shot.
17 for double 4. It's the Ryan Searle route for 25. But he does not find it now. Roger Hertig. The miss was wild, but it was fortunate. Leaves double 12. He's in this game now. If Hertig can just hold throw here, that's 3-2, and you're 5 legs into this game, and yeah, all right, you've been second best, but you're in the match.
That's what you've got to do sometimes when you're going up there against a player you know has a higher ceiling than you. Just stay in touch, cling on, and opportunities may present themselves.
100. Roger require 106.
1 treble combo for Hertig. 54. Well, that's 50 short.
30. Ryan require 132.
Straight in 1. Treble 19. Looked a tricky bullseye to find anyway.
60. Roger requires 76.
Just pulls it low. This could be the moment that Ryan Searle now starts to stamp his authority on the game. The target he's been so good on throughout the game, just over pitches. Roger Hertig's coming back.
20.
Well, 22, 3 or 4 darter. But more importantly, get within a leg. Double 5. Oh, Hertig. Surely their chances he can't afford to miss. Maybe he can. No, last dart finds the mark. It's 4-1. It's mainly chicken, but it's mainly poultry-based emotion. And Roger Hertig looks like he's going to be left with a paltry 1 leg from this one, but there you go. Look at this. Our Dutch production team coming through again. Still a success for Roger Hertig this weekend. Coming here and winning a game is a big, big deal. Treble 18. Oh, it's in and it's out.
38. Roger,
Well, Roger, an outside chance here. Expect to see him starting on the bullseye. Not going to go. And the way Ryan Searle's been hitting tops, you don't expect to see this 60 passing by. These could be, and most likely will be, the last starts Roger Hurtig gets to throw in this year's Swiss Starts Trophy.
60.
Match darts, Ryan Searle, double top. He pins it again and he sees off the first of two host nation qualifiers you'll see today. The wait for a Swiss player in the final day of a Euro Tour goes on. It could come to an end tonight when Bruno Sturkley faces Luke Littler. But Ryan Searle's through to the final day here in Basel. It'll be Damon Heta or Madars Razma for him in the last 16.
That 5 year and a day drought that we had.
Yes.
Ross Smith, that seems like a heck of a long time ago now.
It does, don't tempt fate.
130.
Great start to this one from Cross. Leaves himself 91 after 9 darts. Gilding scrambling to get to any kind of fit. Well, he's not going to now. Start on the 20s from 306. You have to hit the treble, otherwise you will not leave a finish.
91.
So maybe an 11 darter here for Rob Cross. That was just outside the treble 17.
55.
Choosing to leave double 18 is one of his go-tos.
$92. Robbie requires 36.
Well, Gilding may well be resigned to losing this one now, and that's exactly how it's come to pass. Rob Cross taking the opener. I mean, he threw that massive 114 average against Wessel Nijman recently. That 9-dart leg as well in Wigan at Players' Championship 20. Big win against Nijman as well, 6-1. But I didn't realise that Gilding wasn't feeling that well that day as well. I heard about this yesterday. Overheard a conversation with the tournament director who was asking about Gilding's well-being. So, my goodness me, if he's throwing 114 averages while feeling under the weather.
He wants to get ill again. That's what happened. Now then, can Rob Cross do to Gilding what Gilding did to him in the last leg? Apply some pressure on the throw. Yes, he can. Cross stood up to the challenge in the previous leg. And Gilding.
54 for 24 here. There's the 54. But no 24. Can he find the 12? Double 6 here for Gilding. Long way inside. My goodness, he was nearer to the treble bed with that one. And that has just opened the door more than slightly for Rob Cross here. Looking at 1-1-1. Gets the 57 to leave 58. Oh, sorry, to leave 54. Excuse my mathematics. But it all adds up nicely for Rob Cross.
Yeah, but he's looking all right for the European Championship.
Well, he is.
With just one event to go. The World Grand Prix, though, he needs to win this game. If he doesn't, that'll be it.
100.
Yeah, Luke Woodhouse is... well, this is one of the matches that he'll be keeping a very close eye on today.
Well, the main one, isn't it?
And there are others, yeah, but this is the main one.
Watamain has got to go and reach the semi-finals. Other players have got to go and win the whole thing. Gilding only needs to win this one game, and that 180 is good, but it leaves a bogey number. Rob Cross doesn't even have to go for the ball here. He can lay up.
Well, let's see what he does do. He will lay up, yep.
98.
Yeah, it was a difficult watch, actually, for Woodhouse, watching Woodhouse yesterday with that arm injury that was clearly bothering him from the word go. 6-0 against Wessel Nijman. Just looked to be troubled from the off. And
we require 32.
Yeah, it was a surprise scoreline, but when you take into account what we now know, as Rob Cross extends his lead.
Yeah, he just hasn't crafted enough chances. Compare that to Rob Cross, who could have won 6 of the 7 legs played in this match. It could be over already.
And it may well be over very quickly after that visit as well. Just a nice, timely injection from Rob Cross there as well, just to give Andrew Gilding another reminder as to who's in charge of this one.
Well, the man who beat Rob Cross at the Grand Prix last year looks like he's going to miss out on the Grand Prix this year because of Rob Cross. I mean, look, it's not just one game, it's 12 months of tournaments that you're in to book your place in these massive events. But this one could have got him into the provisional spots, and it would have been difficult to shake him from those spots this weekend.
Oh, this is another horror show from Gilding. Okay, he's recovered slightly with the last start, but still a tall order if he returns. Rob Cross looking at 104 for the match.
He doesn't need to stay there. He could change his approach. He's going to try and bully his way through.
Yeah. Another one of those, or well, maybe he should have stayed on the 18s actually, but anyway, he's moved into a single 5, so a little bit iffy for Rob Cross now. Andrew Gilding. What a steal this would be. But no steal for Gilding, and Rob Cross returns, and he may well finish things off here and now. That could be the last start that Gilding throws this weekend. Double 6 here for Rob Cross. One more dart at it, and that will do it. 15 darter for Rob Cross to round things off. A very neat and tidy performance, you have to say. When you look across the board, there were 3 13 darters in there. The average just under 101 as well. Well, you're a very demanding commentator, aren't you? If you come in here demanding Euro Tour classics, often you get your fingers burned. Sometimes they just catch you by surprise, Matt.
Yeah, I've had my day to bed in now, haven't I? So
139, Joshua Cole, 164.
Just shows you how tight it is, though, in that battle for the top 16, because he only picked up £6,000 in prize money last weekend. No 164 checkout there, though, for Josh Rock. And that was enough, though, to see him leapfrog Joe Cullen, who got beat yesterday in his opening match.
38.
Wattimena can't find a way through to double 10 either, so Josh Rock looking at 46 here, so tops for the opener and a break of throw. And that's exactly how it's come to pass.
Have we got greedy and expectant, or is that where the standard is now, that when we get to 4 we start to think?
60.
The word I used in the previous match when we sort of hinted at a potential 9-darter was entitled. And I think we have become a little bit greedy and maybe a little bit too demanding. After all, I mentioned that 5-year drought that we had on the European Tour at one stage.
96.
Starting with that Ross Smith 9-darter in Gibraltar. That was a long-standing 9-darter on the European Tour.
119.
Great leg this for Josh Rock. This promises to be the best leg of the lot. But once again, Jermaine Wattimena has just applied a little bit of pressure there to get down to a manageable 67, but it's all in vain
26.
Of just how well Josh Rock is playing. Versatility on the trebles of Josh Rock at times is a little bit underestimated as well.
Especially for such a quick, pacey player as well. The way he moves around the board is absolute elite level darts, and he just lives in sort of this mid to high 90 average and makes it look so comfortable.
140.
Yeah, and the 139. The setup play with the 139 sets up this opportunity at tops. Can't quite muster another 13-darter. This time he can't even muster a 15-darter, and this one might slip through his fingers now. Double 8 here for Wattimena, and he's bust his score because he's gone the wrong side.
Joshua required 20.
And that little bit of carelessness means Josh Rock's eyes light up once again.
10.
But once again, he still can't take advantage.
30.
Jermaine once again persisting with his route. This time finds the double 8. And that's also that cushion now where Jermaine Wattimena is going to be looking at the scoreboard thinking, I need mistakes now from Rock. It's out of his hands. He needs to see misses.
Yeah, well, I think he needed at least a ton 40 there just to stay in touch and stay competitive.
$122.
And that leaves double 12. And Wattimena, can he get down to a finish at least? No, he can't. So all the time in the world and all the darts in the world for Josh Rock here. Double 6 for the match.
12.
He said he needed to see mistakes. There's 3. And if there's 3 more, Jermaine Wattimena is going to be in a position to strike.
Josh require 12.
3 match starts have come and gone here for Josh Rock. Make that 4. But no mistake with match start number 5. And the new world number 16 opens his campaign in Switzerland with, in the end, a fairly hard-fought win. He was perhaps a little bit nervy, a little bit edgy towards the end of that one as Jermaine Wattimena threatened the fight back. But in all honesty, Josh Rock always had enough about him today. Once he got 4-1 up, he always felt it was his match to lose, and that exactly is how it turned out to be. And Josh Rock advances to another meeting on the European Tour stage with Rob Cross. That will happen tomorrow. Rock wins it by 6 legs to 4.
See now, Heta at the back of the stage before Rasmus even got 1 dart in the board.
434. $58.
Well, he had other options there. Could have stayed on the 20s, perhaps brought the bull into play to leave a finish that doesn't require the bullseye, but he was backing himself to hit a treble. Didn't work out. And while he will get the first poke at a checkout in this leg, Madars Razma is favourite to win it from here, you would think.
Certainly now,
require 70.
when a game's over, the players will often stand and debrief, and they talk about moments like this.
Double 8, that step. Look, all the way over to that left-hand side of the oche, in line with the double 8 for Madars Razma. Now he'll move over to the right-hand side, more in line with double 4. And finds the target for 3-1.
Bit like it's Damon to throw first. Game.
Of which Damon Heta won.
Yes, he did. Yeah, it's quite the treasure trove you're uncovered in your cyber stalking of Damon Heta. Heta stalking the Razma throw in this leg. A good setup shot here could give him the chance to get that break back he needs, and that is no good to him. Good last dart, but is it enough?
52.
If you would like to know more about Damon Heta, you can watch the Dart Show this month, because Heta is the featured player, and they're filming stuff with him this weekend.
41.
That's called cross-promotion. Oh, hang on. Treble 19. Cannot find it. But Madars Razma, he may look at the bullseye here. He may go aggressive and go in search of the treble. He does like double 18. Single 20 would leave 2 of those. What's the plan, Madars?
Now, Sabine wanted to be straight on. If he gets to single 17 here, he's going to have to move to get around that dart. He's going left and over the top. Just over the top for the bullseye. A fine effort, and we can see there, we're talking about that bullseye completely blocked for the straight dart. Damon Heta to get the advantage of throw back.
36.
2 darts missed for a break back and 3 all. Madars Razma's got 25 to clear up. To re-establish the 2-leg cushion. This is where Madars quite happy to slow things down, compose himself. That is so close to busting, but he gets away with it. Madars Razma so close to scoring 27 and therefore nothing with dart 1.
He said Razma will know the situation, and that is why he's just trying to take a little bit of pace, just trying to stay in control of it, trying to make sure that the body is doing what the mind wants it to do. Don't release that adrenaline, just keep the heart rate down.
$96. Madars require 92.
Now, is it the same route, or is the situation different? Well, it's a more open bullseye, that's different. But he gets the treble anyway. Double 8 for 5-3.
70.
Just misses outside.
Damon require 154. 96. Matters you require 16.
To reinstall the cushion, to get that two-leg buffer back on the scoreboard.
If he's got 2 darts at double in a leg in this game, he's won the leg. So dart number 2 sailing straight into double 8 to continue the pattern. He'll have to use the final dart. And he has not done it. Head in hands for Madars Razma, offering up the chance to Heta.
Games on the 8th leg, Damon Heta.
What's Heta's plan? And goes on the 18s here. Awkward shot, the 305.
90.
Yeah, one of those rare shots that actually force you off the treble 20 with the first start. Something to give you the best mathematical breakdown.
53.
That could be the start of the breakdown in this game for Madars Razma. He's left himself a big shot, and Heta could set something up very handily.
Oh, he's staying there. Can't get the max, but he leaves himself 75 points away from victory unless Madars Razma can conjure up a perfect visit here. And he can't do it. And Madars Razma has had enough chances in enough legs to get the job done.
125.
It's not over yet.
75.
But it would be with tops from Heta.
35.
Match dart missed. Madars to take us to a last leg decider. Heta still has the advantage of throw if we go to the 11th leg. Who is Madars asking for help? Everyone. Double 16. And for the first time today, we go the distance. One-leg shootout for the final day here at the Swiss Darts Trophy. The Australian #1 has the darts. Might have to do it again. And he has done it again. Last start into the treble. Crucial for the Aussie.
Razma was watching on there as well, and it hurts when you think you're going to get that opportunity. You think you're going to get a bit of a cushion. Last start in hand hurts more than any. But this one,
51.
You'd say 50-50 from here.
Treble 17. Can't find it to leave another match dart.
91.
Madars Razma, who looked in charge of this game for so long. He could have it ripped from his grasp. Oh, and he's gone into the... I don't even know if he was going for the 20s or the 18s there.
78. Damon, you require 60.
For the match.
He's already missed one for the match. Look at Madars, he can't watch. But Damon can't kill it off.
That's because Madars Razma's mind's not just on this, it's on further opportunities. There's so much riding on this game for Madars Razma. And he's now got to try and compose himself and give himself the opportunity of achieving those goals that he arrived here in Switzerland for. But by taking his time, he's now got the crowd involvement. The pressure builds.
He can use that. Can he use that? Yes, he can! Madars Razma sees off Damon Heta, and the Aussie #1 is beaten in his opening game for the 3rd time running on the European Tour.
Trouble there would have left him a 170, but
59.
Ross Smith still with work to do.
I have to say, looking at this afternoon session, I thought this might be the game that really lit up the St Jakobshalle. But from the first 3 legs, I don't think you can say that. Still time, obviously, for things to change.
I've got to say, De Decker looked really out of sorts in the first couple of legs yesterday. Couldn't really put my finger on what was wrong with him, but yeah, those back-to-back tumblers checkouts really just clicked him into gear, and he suddenly had this new energy about him.
94. Australia 150.
Despite this sluggish start, Ross Smith has a chance to win this leg now. Oh, well, double 15 for a very unlikely steal, I have to say. And how about that for Ross Smith?
Just feels like he's missing the targets by such a distance. It feels like he's trying to make changes on the fly, that he's not comfortable. I mean, ultimately, he could start every leg with a 180. He kind of sort of has had a perfect visit in every leg. But if you're only backing it up with 60s and 59s and 57s,
108.
you'd be better off just hitting one big treble every leg. That's better.
Better, but Mike De Decker looking at double 12.
117.
Well, he's backed up the 180 with something, but it might be too little too late in this leg.
Yeah, this might all be in vain. Double 6 here for De Decker. However, Ross Smith is in position just in case, and guess what? It is just in case, because Mike De Decker's come inside on double 3. And this approach play from Ross Smith, the two previous big visits, really starting to pay off now. Double 16 for a 4-2 lead, and the first chink of daylight in this one. Once again, double 16 has proved a real issue for Ross Smith. He's missed a cluster of those opportunities, and he knows it as well. And he's going to have to address this sooner or later. Mike De Decker with a big let-off here.
Can't miss inside again. It's an open-ish double 3, and he finds his way through. Last start in hand.
Throw first. Game on.
Oh, how about this double 8? Very nearly producing a 12 darter in response to that 4-visit leg from Ross Smith.
Now, Ross Smith may already be waving goodbye to this leg, but will be wanting to treat this opportunity to try and get his shooting boots back on with what appears to be a set of dead darts. Surely De Decker's going to tidy this one up. No, he isn't. And Smith, all of a sudden,
164.
well, he's due a big visit, and this would be a good time to salvage one. 164. Once again, that first dart goes astray. This has been the story of his match so far, or the story of the match so far. Just this lack of consistency overall.
122. I could require 8.
Can't afford to miss many more. Oh, Mike De Decker. It's 7 darts missed for the leg. It could have been a 12 darter. Oh, he's missed the big number. 27 left. 11 for double 8. Just in the 11.
Wow.
James on the 8 leg.
Well, Ross Smith, he wouldn't know it given his reaction, but he is actually 5-3 up. There we go, Ross.
Half a dozen. 6 180s in 9.5 legs of darts for Ross Smith. That hasn't been the problem. Look at, oh, there you go, second for Mike De Decker. Look at the 1 treble visits. He's had so few. It's either perfect or nothing for Ross Smith, all game.
And Ross is a very astute player as well. I think if he does win this, and we hear from him on stage afterwards, he will hit the nail on the head as to how to sum up this match. He will know exactly what the problem has been today. On a different occasion against a slightly different Mike De Decker, or even a totally different opponent, this could have ended very differently for Ross Smith today. As it is, he's in position on 143.
Can he take a chunk out of it? Again, trebleless visit. How many have there been for Ross Smith? And it makes the next shot harder if he's allowed to go at it, which he will be.
99. Ross will require 83.
So Ross Smith, the number 2 seed, the 2-time finalist on the European Tour. looking to salvage his way into a place in round 3. Bullseye is the target,
50.
and he's some way off.
I could have gone 68.
To break Smith for the first time in the game. Very nicely done, and Mike De Decker with a big sarcastic smile.
Ross Smith the favourite now.
Well, look, when they played in the Flanders Darts Trophy in Antwerp, it went the distance. It was a cracker. It had everything that game. Big scores, big finishes, a comeback, last leg decider. This has been so different from that, and yet it could be a similarly tense finish.
94.
$35 plus these for Ross Smith to work with. Loads of room for one more, and he finds it. You know what we're going to say. Shall we say it anyway?
Yeah. Well, at least he doesn't need any more trebles. He doesn't need any more in this leg. Because the brilliant 180 hit in from Ross Smith is the rather... Oh, he's missed a big number again. What is going on? He doesn't have an answer. He is raging. But can he put it to the back of his mind and get this game won?
27 again, Ross. He's done this before. He's found the 11 for double eights. And Ross Smith is not a happy man, you have to say it. You wouldn't know it. He's just advanced to round 3 of a European Tour event. He's kept himself on course for maybe his first European Tour title. Certainly he could go all the way to a 3rd European Tour final this season. But you wouldn't know it given the reaction. He will know exactly where the problems were today. But at the end of the day, it's a win for Ross Smith. It's by 6 legs to 4, and once again he gets the better of Mike De Decker, as he did in Antwerp a few weeks ago. Yeah, and the other thing is, I mean, Sedlacek, I think the thing that counts in his favour, it might not seem like that at the time, but he had a tour card in 2020-21 as well, over those 2 seasons. Difficult, of course, with the COVID pandemic. And even though he showed signs of promise, he lost his tour card, but the fact that he won it back relatively quickly, and the fact that he's on course to hold it as well,
98.
I think that will stand him in good stead moving forward as well over the next 4 or 5 years.
Well, it is the next big progression, isn't it? Getting a tour card's one step, but keeping it, getting in that top 64 and sustaining it is the next challenge.
48.
I say he got it back relatively quickly, but yeah, he had to do it the hard way. He could have done it easily by the Challenge Tour. Won a couple of Challenge Tour events as well, but that wasn't enough. Had to go to Q School instead, but just about did more than enough there as well. Double 16 here for Gurney still. Oh, that's awkward. He's staying there though, and that's why, because he could see a way through. And Daryl Gurney more than happy to fill it up in the end.
$95. Do you require 104?
To re-establish the 3-leg lead. Didn't seem too impressed at the 63 left, did he?
47.
Well, maybe that delay just hampered him a little bit there. He did think about it, or had a lot of time between legs, darts 2 and 3.
140.
And this is where Gurney will have to be careful now, because Sedlacek may be in position for a fairly unlikely steal. 2 darts at tops though for Gurney here, and the second one has to go, Daryl.
17. Harry requires 68.
Well, he's a break down, but this is a gilt-edged opportunity to get the break back. Double 16. And Karol Sedlacek is very much involved once again. That's all it takes. Just that little moment of disruption for Daryl Gurney. Deflection there on that final dart. I think it may have been going just below the wire anyway. Oh, somehow he's found a way through with that 3rd dart. That camera angle, I thought, illustrated perfectly. There was not a great deal of room there, but somehow he's just bulldozed his way through. And Sedlacek, you never know, might summon up some sort of response once again.
Felt like he curled that one around, didn't it?
100. Now you require 167.
Sedlacek in decent range here.
Sedlacek would have loved to have got down to below a ton just to put a bit of pressure on that scoreboard,
31.
but
Now you require 121.
Gurney's registered something fairly insignificant there. Treble 17 leaves the bullseye. Ooh, that was some way off. Just the 5 scored with that final dart.
Now you require 136.
The equation's still the same here for Daryl Gurney. If he's going to get a shot to win this leg, he needs 2 trebles.
But he can only find 1. And all he can do is set this up as best as he can. Yeah, leaves himself a crack at double 18. But Sedlacek is looking at 45. Just about found the 13. 1 dart at double 8s.
29.
And that
require 36.
could be the difference. That really could be telling. Daryl Gurney has got away with this one because he's landed double 18. It's a 16 darter, but I think he'll be a little bit regretful about 1 or 2 aspects of this match if he does go on to lose it. It looks as though he probably will. But he'll look back on 1 or 2 moments where he could have really made an impression and things could have turned the other way.
Seems to have all gone Daryl Gurney's way, doesn't it, since that bullseye on that 90 finish, just to re-establish his authority.
161.
Yeah, I think Gurney himself will know that there's room for improvement here, and I think he'll also know that there's been some good moments as well from him.
105. Now you require 146.
146 not happening for Sedlacek, so
95.
Gurney
Now you require 56.
looking at a potential 2-dart combination here for a passage into the 3rd round tomorrow. Double 18, and there it is, and he points the way into the 3rd round tomorrow. A nice embrace between the pair. Daryl Gurney given a bit of a workout, in all honesty, by Karol Sedlacek, but he will know that there were too many missed opportunities. Could so easily have been a different story at that midway point, but when Gurney got himself in front at 4-2, you always felt it was going to be a long way back.
Loud screams and 180s. There's all sorts going on. What's going on with Danny Noppert here? What's going on with Danny Noppert here? Back-to-back 180s to start the leg, and after a record-breaking Euro Tour just last week for 9 darters in Budapest, are we going to see a perfect leg here in Switzerland?
They've been teased. There was lots of opportunities yesterday. But once again,
85.
the crowd get excited. They buy into the possibility. Feel like it's going to happen. Like it's just bubbling under the surface.
Yeah, you'll need that. Dropped the dart, went through the action anyway.
44. Danny requires
To lose
56.
this leg by 308 points. Not a flicker of a reaction from Noppert. There we go, the dart's gone. I've already started.
44.
Well, this is the chance. This is the chance for Menzies to get the lead, to get the breaker throw he needs. Down for the 19s.
99.
Again leaves the 2-darter.
About 90 seconds ago, I said Cameron Menzies will be clinging in, hoping for an opportunity. It may be a tumpless checkout. This could be the moment.
Double 10. Does not take his chance, but Noppert, so afraid was he of his dart being a bit loose in the treble 20, he's left 121 rather than 120, which makes this a little bit harder to the 11s. It only gets him 1 at the bull. Huge little passage of play this. Noppy not up to the task.
96. Cameron, you require 20.
Menzies is.
Cameron Menzies. 40.
And if he does start throwing the stuff he was throwing at the start of the match, this could turn back around in his favour.
100.
There's another max, number 4 for the Dutchman.
This will feel like a bit of a freebie, a bit of a bonus, you feel, for Cameron Menzies, because he'll be eyeing up the next one where he'll have the advantage of throw, but this one not over yet. Danny Noppert still needs to convert the double 16, and that's a way off. Menzies gets an opportunity, approaches the Oki with a chance to come off as the winner. He should be getting the dart. He does.
Match dart missed by Cameron Menzies. How many more will he get? Will he get any more? Move over to open up the double 8s, which he finds last dart, and there's a bark from Noppy. He's still in this one. It's not like Cameron, who's desperately trying to get in the European Championship for the first time.
And you do, this time of year, you come to events like this and you do think of all those different spin-offs, especially when you need results. You tend to not be playing this in its own merit, or it is a very serious European Tour title. You tend to play it more as qualifiers and mini tasks within the task. For Cameron Menzies, he might not be thinking title, he might be thinking quarterfinals. Maybe this could be the final for him to get into that last 16.
Well, it could be his first ever win over Danny Noppert. He's only played him twice, lost to him on the Euro Tour last year, lost their first meeting back in 2017 at the Findham Masters, back in the WDF days for these two. But Menzies, who is playing the best darts of his career, another in there, beats Danny Noppert for the first time in his career. The Scotsman's hot form continues, and he's in the final day on a European tour once again.